The Panthers, it says their top need is wide receiver. I'm pretty sure we all expect them to do that. So I have them taking maybe one of the best slot receivers this entire draft. I have them taking Ladd McConkey.
Arizona Cardinals selection. They're on the clock.
New England, it says they could either go O-lineman or wide receiver. Man, I miss the old way you could just change players. It's so annoying now. You could just press a button and you'll probably just... And you could change players. Now you gotta fucking go into your settings and then go to change team. It's just so annoying. I think the Patriots get... Jordan Morgan is available, so I think the Patriots get themselves a suitable tackle after losing Trent Brown. They go with Jordan Morgan.
On the clock, it's the Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona has got their interior O-lineman. They got a wide receiver. And just like I said before, this guy I didn't think was a first-round talent. The Cardinals take him with this pick. This is Ennis Rakestraw Jr.
Now on the clock, the Washington Commanders.
The Commanders, they got Jaden Daniels in the first. They could either get him a target or they could get him some protection. I think Washington takes... I have the Commanders taking... I have them taking Troy Franklin right here.
The Los Angeles Chargers now on the clock.
The Chargers didn't take a tackle in the first round. Why am I trying to continue? The Chargers didn't take a tackle in the first round. I have them taking one now. I have them taking Kingsley Suamataia out of BYU. I think I butchered that, but I'm not entirely certain. Tennessee took a tackle in the first round. I think another one of their biggest positions is wide receiver. So I'm going to have them take the best available one, which is Keon Coleman.
It's the Carolina Panthers now on the clock.
Carolina already took Ladd McConkey with their first pick. Says another top need is a defensive end, which is probably true. So I have them taking... let me find him. I have them taking Chris Braswell out of Alabama.
The Green Bay Packers are now on the clock.
This is supposed to be Washington, not Green Bay. There's no compensatory picks in Madden because I don't even think they know how that shit works. So this next pick is... okay, so Washington needs a tackle. There really isn't anybody available yet. It says they also could go edge or corner, or they could go tight end. I don't think they go tight end yet, but I think they go with Mike Sainristil, cornerback out of Michigan.
Atlanta Falcons are now on
I think I pronounced it right. Oh, this is supposed to be the Packers. Son of a bitch. All right. This is going to get really annoying really fast. It goes Packers, Texans, Falcons. I mean, if you want to trade... this is probably... If you want to trade this pick to Minnesota and then have Houston trade with... oh my god, I'm stupid. Oh, man. This is so annoying. Madden, why couldn't you just gotten the draft order right? Oh, duh, they have 2 second-rounders. I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. Okay, Green Bay. Says they could go corner. Which they might honestly go corner, or they go anything, really. Says they could go interior lineman. I mean, Zach Frazier is still there. Linebacker, they could take the first linebacker off the board. It says they also need a safety. They could take Nubbin, D lineman. I feel like they're gonna go the The Packers are going to go with Zach Frazier here. It's an interior lineman out of West Virginia.
Bears are on the clock now.
This pick goes to Houston. Houston, I'm going to have them take the guy I think everybody really wants on their defensive line. I have them taking Braden Fisk out of Florida State.
The Minnesota Vikings. Now on
Oh my god, this is supposed to be Atlanta. But I guess we could talk about who I think they could pick here. It says their top needs are corner. Their top remaining needs, because they took Dallas Turner in the first. They could go corner or they could go wide receiver. The top available corner is Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia. Who is this pick? I'm so stupid. I wasn't paying attention. The Vikings, okay. Could also take a wide receiver. This is a very, very deep wide receiver class. Like I said, I think the Bills could honestly take two receivers. They just gotta do good with their picks. So Atlanta, they could either go with Kamari Lassiter, or I think they're going to take Xavier Legette with this pick. Legette, I don't really know how to pronounce it. But it says their bigger need is corner, so I have them taking Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia.
with the next selection, the Saints are
Oh, it's supposed to be the fucking Raiders. Oh my god, Madden, I really wish you got this correct. It's so weird, like... How did you guys mess this up? Oh, don't even get me started on the fucking late round picks. This is gonna get even worse. I'm gonna be down here for a while. I'm gonna be doing this for a while. All right, the Raiders, they took Olu Fashanu in the first round. This is where I think they take their quarterback. I have them taking Michael Penix out of Washington.
the New Orleans Saints are now on the
It's
clock.
either Penix or it's Knicks. Now the Saints, I think they go wide receiver here in the second round because they got Talise Fuaga in the first. They could go wide receiver here. The best available guy, which is Xavier Legette. I really don't know how to pronounce it.
Now the Indianapolis Colts selection.
Indy, they could also go wide receiver. They could also go tight end. Who even is their second wide receiver? I know they got Michael Pittman. Let's just see. Who's their second wide receiver? This also isn't going to be accurate. Pittman, Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, Ashton Doolin. So they probably could go with the receiver later, but I really think... I mean, Mo Alley Cox is their top tight end. So I have them taking Jatavian Sanders out of Texas.
The Philadelphia Eagles on the clock now.
This is the fucking Giants. See, now this is where I think the final top quarterback goes in this draft. I have the Giants taking Bo Nix.
With the next pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock.
The Jaguars, they could go receiver here. What? Okay, I really want to know who the hell is in their receiving room. Because I really feel like they have good receivers in Jacksonville. Kirk, Davis, Zay Jones, Devin Duvernay, Parker. You don't really need a wide receiver. I mean, you don't need a wide receiver that badly. I do think, on the other hand, you might need help in your interior D-lines. So I have the Jaguars taking Chris Jenkins out of Michigan.
Next up, the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock.
The Bengals, they took Byron Murphy in the first. I would say they should take a tackle now, but honestly, I think they go with a receiver because they're probably going to lose Higgins. They're not going to be able to, if they pay Jamar Chase, they're not going to have money for a defense. So I have them taking Ricky Pearsall out of Florida.
On the clock now, the Seattle Seahawks.
This is supposed to be Philly. Oh, I just hate how slow this fucking game is. I hate how slow it is. Like, you think, like, on next-gen consoles, this would be so much faster, but it's not. It's so slow. You would also think next-gen consoles would have good games, too, but we don't. I'm looking at you, Game Mill. You made that Walking Dead game and that fucking awful, abysmal Kong game, so... Philadelphia, they could go tackle here again. Nobody's really available. They could go edge. They could go receiver. I mean, they have Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, and isn't that kind of it? Man, they could really go anywhere, couldn't they? Anyways, I think the Eagles go with Marshawn Kneeland, defensive lineman out of Western Michigan.
Now on the clock.
This is supposed to be Pittsburgh. See, I knew they were going to fuck it up at some point. Pittsburgh, I mean, really, they do kind of need some help at O-line, which I think they could go with maybe one of the best O-linemen here in this round. If I could ever fucking make a fucking trade, they could go with one of the best. Who the hell has the pick? I wasn't paying attention. The Rams, that's right. Let's go. Trade Center. They could go with maybe who I think is the best O-lineman in this entire draft, which I'll tell you in just a moment. The Steelers, I think, are going to go with... If this game would love to fucking load someday. Cooper Beebe.
On the clock now.
I actually think this guy might be the best player, one of the best O-linemen in this entire draft. Now the Rams, they took a corner with their first pick. I think they could probably beef up that defensive line, or maybe an edge. I don't know. They could go with anything on the line, honestly. I have them taking Adisa Isaac out of Penn State.
On the clock now, it's the Miami Dolphins.
No, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh my god. Whoops, I hate myself. Eagles could go D-line, they could go wide receiver here, they could literally go anything. Heck, they might even go interior O-line. What am I doing? Eagles, I think the Eagles are going to go with a wide receiver here. I know it says Jalen Polk is probably the guy to go with. I have them taking Roman Wilson. This actually goes to Cleveland first, which they could use a defensive lineman, which the best available one is Michael Hall, which that could be a decent pick. They could also go linebacker here, take the first linebacker of the draft, which, well, they did lose Anthony Walker, right? If I'm not mistaken, I believe they did lose Anthony Walker. I think they're going to take the first linebacker of the draft. They're going to go with, let me just get there. Edgerrin Cooper. No, not Jeremiah Trotter. They're going to go with Edgerrin Cooper.
Next up, it's the Dolphins on the clock.
The Dolphins, they took Jerjon Newton in the first. You get themselves some help. After losing Robert Hunt, they could probably go with interior alignment, which is probably not a bad choice. I have them taking Christian Haynes out of UConn with this pick.
Now, the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas, this is another one where they could go interior lineman, or they could go wide receiver because they lost Michael. Did they lose Michael Gallup? I think they did. But I think they're going to go with Jalen Polk.
It's now the Vikings' turn on the clock.
This goes to Tampa. Okay, Tampa. How funny is this going to be? I have them taking a cornerback with the same fucking last name as the team name. I have them taking TJ Tampa out of Iowa State. Haha, that's funny. Laugh. This is Green Bay, which they're probably going to go corner too because they haven't done one yet. They took Amarius Mims in the first, and then they took Zach Frazier in the second with their first pick. So I think they could go cornerback here too, or they could go linebacker. They could get Peyton Wilson. They could go with Jeremiah Trotter, Junior Colson. Depends on who they want. Packers, I think they go, because it says the top corner is Max Melton, but I think they go with a linebacker here. They go with Peyton Wilson out of North Carolina State.
Now, the Chicago Bears.
This goes to Houston. Okay, I have the Texans taking a cornerback out of Rutgers. I have them taking Max Melton.
It's the Buffalo Bills now on the clock.
The Bills took Brian Thomas with their first pick. They also could use defensive line help. They could use secondary. I mean, everybody's like, well, they really need a secondary. They really need secondary help after getting rid of all their top players, which is kind of true. But I don't think cornerback is really that big of a necessity right now. I would agree with you in saying that safety is a bit more of a concern than anything else. Edge is also a pretty big position they could take. But for right now, I think the Bills are going to take Tyler Nubbin, take the first safety off the board out of Minnesota. The Lions could go corner here, but there really isn't anybody that good available. They could go defensive end, or they could go wide receiver, because they have Amon-Ra St. Brown, and that's kind of it, right? Or they could take their guy to go across, Aiden Hutchinson. But I think the Lions are going to take Malachi Corley, get themselves a pretty underrated wide receiver. Baltimore could take a tackle here. They could go corner, defensive end. I kind of think they need more help on the O-line, so I have them taking Patrick Paul out of Houston.
The San Francisco 49ers are now on the clock.
San Francisco already took their tackle, Tyler Guyton, out of Oklahoma with their first pick. They could go wide receiver with this pick because, well, pretty sure Ayuk's not going to be there much longer. Then they're going to have only going to have Debo, who he might not even be there much longer. So I have them taking Jalen McMillan out of Washington.
Now on the clock.
So Kansas City already took a wide receiver in Xavier Worthy. They could go corner here. Not really a lot of players available. I think they might go like best player available, best player available at the position that they need, which is a defensive lineman. So I have them taking Michael Hall. I gotta find him now. I have them taking Michael Hall out of Ohio State.
The Carolina Panthers on the clock.
Carolina's back on the clock. This could be our next linebacker, because again, they got a pretty good linebacking core in Carolina. So this could also be our first running back taken off the board. So I think the Panthers take Jonathan Brooks, take the first running back off the board.
Cardinals on the clock now.
The Cardinals could go D-line. They could go defensive end. I really think... What does their defensive line look like? Oh, apparently they do kind of need a defensive lineman. I don't even know if they picked one up, to be honest. So I'm going to have the Cardinals take Braylon Trice out of Washington.
Next up, the Patriots are on the clock.
This is supposed to be Washington, then New England. But, whatever. The Commanders still haven't taken a tackle, which I think they do now. I hate myself. I pressed the wrong fucking button. I think they take their first offensive tackle in Blake Fisher. Now I just got to find the guy. There he is.
The Patriots are now on the clock.
The Patriots still haven't taken a receiver yet. The best available one is Javon Baker. Javon Baker, Devontae Walker. I think the Patriots go with Devontae Walker.
On the clock now, it's the Los Angeles Chargers.
The Chargers, they could either go corner or tight end. I mean, really, they could do anything. Maybe get a better defensive lineman. Who knows? Because, I mean, their best... Who even is their best one? I have no idea. I think the Chargers go with Rook Aurora. I think I pronounced it right. This is the Giants and then the Cardinals. The Giants, I mean, they brought in Singletary, but they did lose Saquon. So, shit. They could do literally anything here. I think they're going to take the next... Oh my god, what... Cardinals, right. I think the Giants go with a running back with their pick here. We'll get to it eventually. The Giants, I think, are going to take the second running back of this entire draft. They're going to take Trey Benson out of Florida State.
Now the Arizona Cardinals selection. They're on the clock.
The Cardinals could get weird here and take somebody who might have just screwed his entire career over because he's an idiot and can't not do anything. So I think the Cardinals are going to take T'Vondre Sweat. I also think that guy might be pretty good if he gets a chance, but who knows. Now the New York Jets, I know they have Garrett Wilson, but to be honest, that's kind of it. So I have them taking Javon Baker out of UCF.
It's the Atlanta Falcons.
It's actually Detroit. The Lions, I think, could take their first corner of this draft. I have them taking, let's see if I can find him, Andrew Phillips out of Detroit. Or I'm sorry, Kentucky.
Are on the clock.
The Falcons are probably going to go with their first receiver with this next pick. So I have them taking Jermaine Burton, let's just get there first. Jermaine Burton out of Alabama.
It's the Bears now on the clock.
The Bears still haven't taken a wide receiver, but this could be their first. Or they haven't even taken a tackle yet. But I think they go with a tackle here because this guy is still available. This is Kieran Amegadji.
Now the Seattle Seahawks.
I have no idea if I even pronounced that right. This is supposed to be Denver. Which I think Denver... I know they traded for Zach Wilson, but I think now Denver drafts a quarterback. That reminds me, I got to make a trade. So I think the Broncos get their quarterback in Spencer Rattler.
The Raiders are on the clock.
The Raiders, they might go bolster that line, or they might get a corner, whichever one they prefer. I think they bolster the line with maybe the second best O-lineman in the entire draft. Sorry. Second best O-lineman in the entire draft, Dominic Punny.
The Indianapolis Colts are now on the clock.
This is supposed to be Washington. Washington, I think, bolsters that defensive line after they just cut Shaka Toney, too. But I think they bolster their defensive line and take Austin Booker out of Kansas.
Are now on the clock.
This is supposed to be this is Atlanta. Atlanta says they could use a safety, which the best available one is Javon Bullard. They could literally take anybody because They could take anybody because, like, fucking Javon Bullard, Jaden Hicks. The only one they can't take is Tyler Nubbin because he's already been drafted. Dude, I confused the shit out of somebody when I was talking about the draft. Because, like, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to be here Thursday or Friday because of the draft. And he's like, what, the military draft? And I'm like, no, the NFL draft. And he's like, oh, thank God. Yeah, no. I still think if we have to go to a fucking draft for this country, we gotta be fucked, right? Like, we gotta be fucked. Like, we're supposed to have one of the top militaries in the entire nation, or in the entire world. And if we have to go to a fucking draft, we're fucked. Okay, but anyways, I think the Falcons get their first safety in Javon Bullard. This is supposed to be Cincinnati. But no, really, like, if we have to go to a draft, we're fucked, because that means that our entire military is decimated. I mean, even if we go to war, we're fucked anyways. I mean, I don't know how, like, we're literally all gonna fucking die, except for the rich people. The rich people will be fine. But, I mean, I'm just talking, like, middle class, lower middle class, the poor people. They're all just going to fucking die if we go to war. Because then prices are going to get jacked up. Because, I mean, we're already, 30-something trillion in debt. If we go to war, we're just going to be spending even more money. Which is why I think, oh my God. This is why I don't want to vote in the next election. But everybody's saying, you got to vote because, well, we're trying to keep Trump out of office. And I'm like, this really bothers you? This dude really bothers you that much? Sure, I don't like Trump as much as the next person, but that bothers you that much that you're getting the band together to, oh my God, why am I talking about politics? Just fucking draft the guy. Anyways, the Bengals still need a tackle. It says the best available one is Roger Rosengarten out of Washington. So there we go. Oh my God. Seattle needs a tackle. There really isn't a guy available. This is supposed to be Seattle, not Jacksonville. Oh my God, I hate this game. I think they took Latu in the first round. They could bolster that defensive line and get themselves somebody pretty decent. We got to make a trade first. I think the Seahawks bolster their defensive line and take Mason Smith out of LSU. Now I just got to go there and draft the guy. There he is.
On the clock now, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is actually the Colts. Which the Colts can get themselves a pretty good defensive end. I just got to make a trade first. Let's just talk. Genuinely, let's just talk. Yeah, when it comes to, I hate talking about politics because I feel like an idiot if I get something wrong, and I also feel like I can't really back up my own statements because I just genuinely don't know. I'm young. I don't genuinely know. I really don't want Biden in office this upcoming election. I don't want Trump in. My one friend told me we need a fucking Democrat, but anybody other than Biden. And I'm like, you know what? You're not wrong. But anyways, back to the draft. I think in between I'm just going to talk about whatever the fuck I want when I'm doing some weird shit. But anyways, the Colts could get themselves a pretty decent defensive end right now. I just got to find him. I think he's, yep, there he is. I think the Colts are going to get themselves an edge in Jonah Ellis. It's a bummer. The Rams could use a defensive lineman or an offensive lineman, but there really isn't a good one. Use a receiver. I have the Rams taking Mekhi Wingo, the other guy out of LSU. The Steelers have taken two offensive linemen. This might be where they take their first defensive player or maybe a corner or receiver. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers go with the receiver here. I have them taking Brendan Rice out of USC.
With the next pick, the Miami Dolphins.
Who I think isn't he the kid of Jerry Rice? I think so. This is supposed to be Cleveland. The Browns haven't taken a defensive lineman yet, which there really isn't one available to take now. They could go receiver, which I think they have Amari. Is Elijah Moore still there? I'm not sure. I know they have Amari Cooper, and that's pretty much it. The Browns, I actually think they're going to go with a wide receiver here. I have them taking Malik Washington out of Virginia.
On the clock now, the Houston Texans.
Houston, this is right. They're going to take a linebacker. A linebacker receiver. Nah, I have them taking a linebacker. They're going to go with Junior Colson. Sorry, same letter. Out of Michigan.
It's the Miami Dolphins.
Actually, it's the Dallas Cowboys. Miami, I don't think Miami has another. I can actually look this up. I don't think Miami has another third round pick, do they? No, they don't. Dallas lost Tony Pollard, and they didn't do anything about it. So I have them... this is a huge pickup for Dallas. I have them taking Blake Corum. That is a huge pickup for Dallas. I feel like this is a rather deep running back class, too. Like, they're not spectacular. You never really should take a corner or running back in the first round anyways, unless he's like Saquon or Bijan. But even then, I still don't think you should take a defensive or a running back in the first round. I don't care how good you say they are. I mean, even Jahmyr Gibbs, I didn't even think he was going to be a first round talent. All right, the Packers are on the clock now. The Packers, I think, are going to get their first cornerback of this draft. Or they're going to take a cornerback. I have them taking Chris Abrams, drain out of Missouri.
It's the Dolphins on the clock.
Now it's the Buccaneers. Okay, we're getting close to the end of this round. Yeah, we have about 7 picks left. This is Tampa. I'm trying to think. Linebackers for the Buccaneers, they don't really have... is Levante David still there? They got Joe Tryon, Shoyinka, KJ Britt, Anthony Nelson. Oh, it's because I haven't... I don't even know... Did they even bring back... what the hell was that dude's name? Guy had a remarkable rookie season, but he kind of fizzled out around the end. Oh my god. I forgot his name. Oh shit, whatever. Yeah, I think they go linebacker here. The best available one's Jeremiah Trotter, so I have the Buccaneers taking Jeremiah Trotter out of Clemson.
Pick. The Miami Dolphins are
it's the Cardinals, and I hate how long this is taking me. My fucking laptop I'm using sounds like it's about to take off. Oh my god, for fuck's sake. They don't have a pick in this round. They don't have another pick until like the 5th round. So we're gonna have to hear the fucking Dolphins again. Cardinals need a tackle. There really isn't anybody. They could go with a running back because I don't know if James Conner is still there. So I have them taking Jalen Wright out of Tennessee, who actually, since the draft combine, he kind of boosted himself up. Now it's the Packers, which I don't know if they still have a pick. They don't. Okay. Packers could get themselves a good safety here. Fuck. Go back. Back up. We're only like 4 picks away from the end, guys. Don't worry. The Packers could get themselves a really good safety here. I have them taking Cameron Kinchins out of Miami. See, I would have had him go to the Bills, but they already drafted Nubbins, so... Alright, actually, this is the Buccaneers. I have the Buccaneers taking Cedric Van Pran out of Georgia. Let's just get there first. I'm just going to tell you who I have them taking. At this point, I'm just going to be like, alright, what's a position they need? Go. Yeah, the Bills don't have a third-round pick this year. It's because, oh my god, they lost it because of the fucking... Because Gabe Davis turned from a third into a fourth-round pick. Alright, like I said, I got the Buccaneers taking Cedric Van Pran out of Georgia. I gotta find him. Here he is.
Next up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock.
Actually, now it's Baltimore. I keep forgetting about some players. I mean, some teams just go with, like, best available instead of, taking a position they actually need. So, that's why I'm going to have the Ravens make this pick. Trade Lamar to Tampa for a third. That's funny. All right, Baltimore, I have them taking a defensive end out of Oregon named Brandon Dorlus. I didn't even know who this guy was until a few weeks ago, to be honest. I just gotta find him, because I don't remember what I did with him. There he is. Brandon Dorlus.
On the clock now, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Actually, it's the Niners. I think we have 2 more picks, and then we're done with the third round. And tomorrow we'll do 4th. Actually, we have 3 more picks. This belongs to the Niners. Did I fuck up? Do the Jaguars actually have the last pick of the draft of this round? Oh, they do. Okay. I thought I fucked up. Nope, the Jaguars just have the last pick of the round. Okay. This is the Niners. That's right. Here we go. Okay, this belongs to the Niners. I feel like they could go corner, interior lineman, who knows. But I think the Niners are going to take a corner here. They're going to go with... We're going to have back-to-back Oregon picks. They're going to take Kyrie Jackson out of Oregon.
On the clock now, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City, they could go O-line. They could take another tight corner. There's edge still available. Interior O-line. They could take literally anything. Hell, maybe even they go running back. Actually, they could go safety. They don't really need a tight end. I think the Chiefs right here are going to go with a defensive end out of Colorado State. This is a pretty good player. This guy might be a steal. They're going to take Muhammad Kamara.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock.
And then the Jaguars have the last pick of the round. I think they go wide receiver here out of Florida State. They go with Johnny Wilson to end the round.
The Panthers are on the clock.
And that is the end of the third round. I'll be back tomorrow with day 3, starting at noon. Yay. All right. I'm done.